Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the discussion to the Immigrant Blueprint, where we simplify U.S. immigration law for you. I am Ebony Anoforo. I'm an immigration attorney here to help you navigate the complexities of bringing your loved ones to the United States. And in today's discussion, we'll be diving into a question that many of you have asked me, and it's, should you apply for a marriage green card or a fiance visa? So let's break it down. Okay, so first, when it comes to bringing your foreign significant other to the US, you generally have two options. You have the marriage green card or the fiance visa. And both pathways can ultimately lead to your loved one living in the US. But the processes are going to be quite different. And today we're going to cover the steps that are involved, the timeline, some of the pros and cons, who qualifies for each, and what you can expect along the way. Okay, so first, let's talk about the marriage green card. This option is for those who are already married to their foreign partner. So the process starts with the US citizen spouse or green card holder filing the form I-130, which is the petition for alien relative. Now, this establishes the relationship, okay? And once the I-130 is approved, the next step will depend on whether your spouse is either inside or outside of the US. Now, if they're outside of the US, they're going to go through consular processing, which includes completing an additional application, which is the DS-260, prior to the interview at the US Embassy or consulate in their home country. If they're already in the US, they can then adjust their status by filing the Form I-485 application for permanent residence or adjustment of status. Now, the timeline for the marriage green card can vary, but generally you can expect that it can take between 10 to 14 months roughly. And this includes processing times for both the I-130 and the I-485 or consular processing. Now, there will be some situations where some certain countries, things might take a little bit longer. I've seen that in my own experience that it can take up to 2 years for this process for certain countries. Now, let's talk about the pros and cons. One major advantage of the marriage green card is that once approved, your spouse becomes a permanent resident with the ability to work and to travel freely. However, the downside is that the process can be lengthy, like I mentioned, and sometimes it can be costly, with the fees varying and there being potential delays. So, that is one thing that you want to consider when you're looking at the two processes. To qualify, you must be legally married, and your marriage must be bona fide, meaning it's genuine and not solely for immigration purposes. Additionally, the US citizen spouse must meet certain income requirements to sponsor the foreign national spouse. Now let's shift to the fiance visa, also known as the K-1 visa. And this option is for those who are engaged but not yet married. And it's important to note that only a US citizen can sponsor their foreign fiance for the K-1 visa. The process begins with the US citizen filing the Form I-129F, petition for alien fiance. Once approved, your fiance will complete an additional application, the DS-160, and attend an interview at a US embassy or consulate in their home country. If successful, they will receive the K-1 visa, allowing them to enter the US. Once here, you must get married within 90 days, and then your new spouse can apply for a marriage green card through adjustment of status using the Form I-485. The timeline for the K-1 visa can also vary, typically ranging between 6 to 9 months for the visa itself. However, in certain circumstances, it can take just as long as the marriage green card process. Once your fiance is in the US, you can add another 10 to 14 months potentially for the marriage green card process. The fiance visa has its own set of pros and cons. One advantage is that it can sometimes be faster to bring your significant other to the US initially. However, they won't have work authorization right away. And the total time to permanent residency can be longer when you factor in substantial green card processing times. Plus, it involves additional steps and additional fees. To qualify for the K-1 visa, you must prove that you've met in person within the last 2 years and that your relationship is genuine. You'll also need to meet certain income requirements as well. So which option is right for you? Well, it really just depends on your unique circumstances. If you're already married, then the marriage green card is the way to go. If you're engaged and want to bring your fiance to the US to get married, the K-1 visa could be a better fit. Both options require careful planning and attention to details. If you need help deciding or have questions about the process, you can feel free to reach out to us. We're here to guide you every step of the way. You can contact us for a consultation to talk about your own immigration matter. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media for more immigration tips and updates. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.